Yes, my name is Jalbert, and I'm the publicist for Cirque du Soleil Totem.
So how long have you been with Totem since the beginning?
Actually, it's funny because I worked on the creation of the show back then, so in 2010 before we launched, and then worked on different shows and came back here about almost 3 years ago. So this is city number 16 for me since the beginning.
Wow, it's a lot of cities to take the show through.
Yes.
You know, what are I guess when you get to each city, what's the biggest challenge once you first get into a new city?
But at least, Cirque du Soleil has been doing big top shows for 30 years now. So in terms of challenges, we know what we're doing, and there's a lot of pre-planning that's happening sometimes 2 years in advance, just to find, first of all, a site that is big enough for installation, because we're traveling with our own theater, and it takes a lot of space, this tent to put it up. So to find the local partners, etc. So this is a lot of challenges happen before we arrive, but once we are in town also, we have so many shows, it's to sell the show and to have people come see it for sure.
You said you were with it when they were putting it all together. What are the first steps of that process? I guess does the concept come first?
Actually, it's a very long process. So when we look at creating a show like this, it's about 3 years in the making. First, we find a director. Either someone that has worked with Cirque du Soleil before, either someone that's totally new. In this case, his name was Jalbert, who was a famous theater man from the region of Quebec City. And we gave him basically the freedom to do what he wanted to do, because he had already created the Ka show that is in Las Vegas, that is still performing there. But he always wanted to do a big top show, so he said, okay, but you can do whatever you want. So it starts first with an idea, with a theme, with a concept. And for this one, it was about evolution. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit a team of about 10 creators around the director. So we'll have choreographers, set designer, composers, etc. That will work for about 2 years, bring the expertise and feeding the vision of the creator, of the director, and we'll kind of shape what we want as a show. So what the acrobatic skeleton of the show will be. And in the last year, we bring in the performers.
And it seems like because each performer has a special performance that they do. Once you bring them in, I imagine then that adds that last element to it. They kind of almost dictate, okay, we're going to be doing a hoop dance, or we're going to be doing a...
It depends. We go with disciplines that we want to feature. So we're always casting around the world. We have 26 casting scouts that are always traveling the world to find new disciplines, stuff that, or talents that our audiences have never seen before. And so when we create a show, we have some disciplines that we invite for their specific skills, but we also have acts that we create from scratch, like Jonathan that you just met. He's in an act that is an apparatus that doesn't exist anywhere else. So we'll work with gymnasts to work on those apparatuses, but we'll also grab talents from around the world, such as Shandine, the hoop dancer. She's been performing this all her life, and it's something that we saw and fitted so well within the team of Totem. So we invited them to perform the specific skills, but for sure we adapted it. So make it a bit more circusy, a bit more showy, change the music, the costume, the rhythm to fit with the concept of this production.
And the concept of the production being about nature and evolution. Can you talk a little bit about what audiences can expect from the show?
Yes, well, Totem, like you said, is about evolution. So each act takes you through in a different step of evolution, or either can represent a theme that is important to mankind, such as love, for example. But it's a collection of scenes, so we're taking you from one part of the world to the next and back and forth into time. It's not chronologically. And the acts that we feature, first of all, the way we integrated them into the theme of evolution is very clever. But I would say it's disciplines that you've never seen on a Cirque du Soleil stage before. I'm thinking, for example, of a unicycle act with girls riding a 7 feet tall unicycle, kicking metal balls from their feet to their head, to the head of their partners. It's absolutely stunning, and I think to be sitting in the big tub and in this experience where you completely forget about your reality and let yourself be transported by those images is simply amazing.
And it's an amazing role you have as well, because you get to travel alongside everyone around the world.
That's it. It's pretty fun. We come from 21 different countries, so just that, it's a multicultural experience on a daily basis. But then to get to travel and to bring these productions to a new audience is quite interesting as well. Every city, every audience reacts a different way to the show, and it's always a surprise, especially on opening night, to see how they're going to react to it.